Welcome back to Color Class. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And we have a guest today. This is Marybeth.
Hi.
Now, you probably want to introduce Marybeth since you guys have been friends for way longer than I've been alive.
We've been friends since we were 12 years old. I'm 68. I'm not going to tell Marybeth's age. I'm 68 years old. We met walking home from school one day when we were 12, and I complimented her dress. I noticed that she was wearing this beautiful blue color. She was a redhead. I was thinking, wow, that dress looks really good on her. And the polka dots are just, I love that dress. So I walked up to her and I said, I really love your dress. That color's great on you. And we've been friends ever since.
It started off with color analysis. That started off. And here we are, full circle,
all
doing
these
a color
years later.
analysis. Now, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. You probably know I have some opinions on drapes with a lot of shades. I'm going to show you. We do have the drapes with, all the different colors. Here's a winter one. I just do not love these. I feel like while it gets going in the right place, it's not a great system. And also, I want to show you how you can do this at home. So if you have t-shirts, you can just flip them upside down. If you have any type of clothing, I know on Patreon we had people taking pictures with like shopping bags that are different colors. So you can do this with anything. You just need some sort of color over you and be able to kind of flip back and forth to see your best shades. Now I'm going to start with the 6 dominant characteristics. We love the 6 dominant characteristics here. So it's really important to get her, and then using the 6 dominant characteristics, we can put her into a subseason in the 6, the 12, the 18, 16, 24.
Just go on.
Right. I was going to say, we might find some neutrality here, so it's going to be expansive.
And if I could add something to that, with the 6 dominant characteristics, you're able to do something that you could not do with the 4 seasons. And that is adjust a palette as a person matures to encompass and enhance all of the colors that start to happen as we mature. I think I mentioned that Sarah's a redhead. Yes, she's a redhead. Marybeth was a redhead. Mm-hmm. And as she matured, she embraced her softening color scheme. And now, like me, she has gray hair. I too was, red happening that kind of went away and became gray. Mm-hmm. So what happens when you become gray? Well, some people say you become a summer. Just automatically you become a summer. But if you really want to absolutely get your palette right.
Perfect.
Sarah likes it perfect. You look at the 6 dominant characteristics beyond the 4 seasons, because that's where the magic happens.
Right. And we should say there is a decent amount of red hair going on. So you might see the white up front, but there is a lot of red hair in this area. And then also we have a green, slightly leaning gray with a rim of a hazel color.
Amber.
Yes.
Got a lot of amber.
Yes. So the eye color, leaning warm. We do have some red in here. But as you can see, what's framing her face is more of the whiter shade. She doesn't have the red coming in around as framing pieces. It's all back in here. So I'm going to start off 6 dominant characteristics, starting with light. We have a light pink here. I picked this one because I figured it would look, it's a little too clear, a little too bright, but it is pretty good with her skin tone, kind of enhancing it, pulling it up. It's arriving before she is, but it's not too bad. It's on the lighter side, so we can tell it looks all right, but I am going to showcase what happens if we switch to a deep shade. All right, yes, you can kind of see the shadows in this area forming. It goes a little bit gray. Now, you do see more of the depth in our hair with this shade. Like we always say, the deeper colors, if you have darker roots, it's going to pull out the darker roots. In Marybeth's case, it's pulling out the darker hairs in this area. So be careful of that.
The other thing is her face turned red. It went
this is
from
a warmer shade.
Her fair to reflecting that deeper color. And what I see now is a redder face.
Yes, you get that right in the cheeks area, in the nose. I mean, your lip color still looks great.
Yeah.
All right, so we just did light. We're on to deep. Now we're going to go to our warm to cool scale. I picked a blue. I picked a warm blue and a cool blue coming up just to kind of showcase our skin tone a little bit better. So here we have our warm blue. Again, this is going to be way too clear, but we're trying to get an idea. If you do the extremes, it makes it easier to see, do you fall warmer or do you fall clearer when we do extremes? So here we have a warm blue. And then I'm going to toggle back and forth between the warm and the cool blue. This one might be a little bit tricky.
Sarah, I don't see a keeper yet.
Right? Because light to cool was easy. We could tell, falling on the lighter side. But when it comes to warm versus cool, I mean, we see some shifts, but it's not dramatic. There's no grayness really revolving around this. There's no permanent thing that's happening that we would shy away from.
Right, and call me crazy, but what happens when you're in between warm and cool? Could you be neutral?
And the problem is the 12 and the 16 palette don't have neutrality to them. We don't get neutral palettes until we started creating the 20, the 24 palette system here at Color Class.
Color Class palettes have neutrals.
Right. So here we did warm to cool. Now I'm going to go into a clear green. You used to love wearing green, correct? Of course. So here we have a clear green. Now, this is probably something you would have gravitated towards when you had your red hair.
Yes.
And you had more fiery red than I. So yours was a little bit more...
Chestnut.
Yeah, it was...
With brilliance.
Yeah, there you go. I love that. Chestnut with brilliance. So it was a little bit more intense than mine. You can see I go a little bit softer with mine. You, on the other hand, you could go more clear with your greens. Now I'm going to showcase what a soft, neutral shade is on Marybeth. Look at that.
We should have a bell that rings or a chord. Ding, ding. Yes, an angelic chord that plays.
I can see even on camera. You guys are very far away when I look back, but you can see how you just instantly light up in this shade. So we did have a little trouble between warm and cool, so that kind of gives us leaning neutral. Obviously, this shade leans neutral right in between, so it's going to help pick up her eye color. This is going to turn your eye color more of this shade because you're wearing it. But again, it now blends in with your hair beautifully, blends in with your eye color beautifully, your skin tone, neutral, soft palette. So thank you for joining us today. If you are interested in the palette, links are down in the description below. Do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you are interested in more of these draping videos, let us know down below. I know this is probably a lot different than you're used to. We wanted to change it up and create the 6 dominant characteristic style draping. Normally, I feel like you see the 12 or the 16. So we're trying to give an idea of what it would look like for these 6 dominant characteristics. So let us know down below. And all links are in the description. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And I'm Marybeth.
Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you in our next video.